you? Let's see. Let's see who's here. It's early. It's early. Almost spilled my coffee on myself. How is everybody? It is Yo. Wait, what does that say? Upcoming. Upcoming. It's not upcoming. Let me double check. Let me see. I gotta make sure. Oh no, it's live. I needed to make sure. I thought it said it wasn't live. God, guys. Members only. We're gonna do subscriber only. Save. Halil, welcome in. I did turn on subscribers. Well, good morning, early bird. I know you're an early. Look at my hair be crazy. Good morning, M. Zabrano. I know. Good morning, Din Din. How are you? I did. Look, I put the members only thing on. Are y'all impressed? I'm impressed. Jesus, I'm so impressed with myself. Good morning, Waltmoney. Waltmoney, you cracked me up how you change your name. Now you say YouTube platforms like an eyebrow. You can't. Walt. I don't know where you get that from, but it's funny, man. I just gotta tell you, it's funny because I always like reading your name because God knows what it's gonna be. Good morning, everybody. Darlene, Adriana, M. Zabrano, Mrs. Metalhead, how are you? Are you headed off to work? Everybody's still sleeping. We know a lot of people are still sleeping. Y'all aren't expecting me this early. Look at that. Look at, we got a live sign, little neon here. Boop, boop, boop. Although, you know, you don't really see the colors. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to fix it. It's a neon sign. Got it from Temu. Oh, damn. Now we got to fix it big time because now it's like looking crazy. Wait, how do I do that? I don't know. It's just gonna, it's supposed to say live. Like all of a sudden. How do I don't know. Y'all got a bunch of neon signs. We got two. Look at that. Now it went back. I don't know. It must fluctuate. But I also have one that says coffee. That's for Joe, is all you need. Hi, good to see you too. Brian Davis, how are you? You're, luckily I work from home. Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I didn't want anybody to have to like run out the damn door. I got up so early this morning, guys. I was up like around 5 o'clock, probably like 4:30. And then Joe got up. And then he got ready and he brought me coffee and I drank it. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm like awake. So then I went for a walk already. And on my walk, I was doing a whole thinking thing about what am I going to talk about today? I don't know. What am I going to, and I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me say, I don't know. But then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, I have an idea. In fact, you know what? One thing I got to make sure I do is, let's make sure I hit this on mute. And then let me make sure I pull up the chat here. Because like, sometimes I don't see everything while I look at, like right now, I have to do this. I don't see everything on my phone. Diana Lee, good to see you. Morning, Ronnie. How are you? Brian Davis. Everybody is popping in here. Robert's live streaming from Holland. Hey. How are you? Daniela, good to see you. If I'm looking over here, it's because my laptop's sitting there. Anyway, it's early. Everybody got their coffee. I'm going to get some more coffee. We might even go make a cappuccino with ourselves because that'd be 3 coffees. That means I'm going to get very productive. My mom is driving to my job right now before she goes to take grandma to the doctor. I forgot my earbuds and badge. Oh my God. Don't you hate when you forget things that you need? Like the earbuds, like you could handle it. But the badge, you need it. Hi, Isabella. Yes, it's podcast day. Now, actually, right now outside, it is beautiful. Now, it's probably going to get up in the 80s again, as we all weep here in New York. As you can already tell, I have color, like a tan. This is usually not me. Usually I'm not this dark. You know that. I can't even wear makeup because, like I said, it looks like kabuki makeup now if I put it on. Yeah, but you'd like to have both, right? Now, if you guys noticed, I do have a topic up there, making and keeping friends as an adult, which I think is way harder now as an adult than, as a child. You know, it's a subject that we don't talk about. I gotta clean my glasses. Hang on a minute. Wait, let me get out my tiny diaper, as Joe calls it, and clean my glasses. Right? I told her I'd be okay, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You kind of need both, right? But anyway, yeah. Hi, Sandy Moonstone. Blackie Sanchez, good morning. Everybody grab your coffee. And you know what's funny is I was even thinking about, you know, the title of this podcast is called Strange Conversations. And originally I wasn't doing a conversation. I was just being a talking head. And I still am a talking head, but I'm actually having conversations with you. Oh my God, yes. I have a very small group of close friends. I have people I'm friends with, but my close friends group is very small. I think that's what happens normally as we get older. You kind of like have different rings of friendship. I've talked about this before, my theories on it. But I do feel, look, I even took notes so I would like have stuff to go back on. But I do feel as we get older, it's so much harder to like make friends, have friends, keep friends. That's a thing that you really don't even talk about. And the thing is, we get so damn busy. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know, like, and friends, let's go into it. By definition, I guess the Webster Dictionary, I looked it up on Google. I am old. I'll be 80 and 90. Sandy, I really don't see you as that, Sandy. I think that you're like, I don't know, like my age. I think everybody's like my age. I think we get stuck in our ways and hard to change. Very true. Sandy, you aren't old. You're just on a high level in the game. Yes. Oh my God, Adriana, that is a great way to look at it. I feel like the clicks truly form with age. I'm doing good, Daniela. How are you? Anyway, definition of a friend. And I'm not talking about your definition, my definition, everybody's specific. This is just the definition by the dictionary. A person whom one knows and with whom has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive, not inclusive, exclusive of sexual or family relation. Okay, I got it. Yeah. So basically somebody that you have a bond with, you know, for whatever reason. I don't remember either. I still have several friends from early grammar school. It's harder as we age. Beach bum, true dat. Yeah, it is. Now, this, I wasn't really talking about in this podcast because I've kind of talked about it before. Real friends are very hard to find, Robert. Bombie Rivera, good morning. Get your coffee, dude. I'm not asking like what you look for in a friend or what you value. I mean, let's put that on a side shelf, so to speak, because we've already quantified those, right? Like everybody knows, like, what do you look for in a friend? What's important to you? That's going to be that's a massive variable, I think. Basically, friend should be somebody that you can be with without the drama. That's what I say. I don't want it to feel like I have drama. Sadly, as you get older, you lose friends and family naturally. Yes, you do. And we'd have that happen here. I've formed a bond with some of my YouTubers. Exactly. Okay. Adriana, Treatin and FAFO will love these for the countdown. Oh, by the way, did you guys see? Yes, like Adriana. We have some new emojis for our members to use. I did a little cleanup there, kind of rearranged a few things. We got the Yo Ang cruise emoji. And then we also have the rum emoji, because it is, according to me, I have deemed it the summer of rum. Sophia, exactly, without judgment. That one's a really hard one. Friendship always shouldn't be for convenience purposes. Absolutely. For real. But yeah, let's say we've already quantified all that stuff. And like the hard thing I think as we get older is how to make friends. If you remember as a child, like you could make friends at the drop of a hat. I don't know. You guys he had blue shoelaces, you got yellow shoelaces, and all of a sudden you're talking about shoelaces and now you're best buddies and you've already made commitments. You're 4 years old and you've made a commitment that you're going to get married when you're older or in 2 years. You know what I mean? Like that's how crazy it is when you're a child. Like you can make friends like that. And it's probably because you have no inhibitions already. You haven't already, like you don't prejudge people. we learn stuff as we get older, and then the judgment happens, and then you look at people weird, and then you feel self-conscious and all of that. All the inhibitions and stuff start to come into you. You know what I mean? But children don't have that. They just want to play. They just want to play. That's all, right? Yeah, absolutely, Bombie. So like, that's kind of how I view it. And I have to tell you, the reason why I'm saying this is because one of the things that I had to figure out, because we've moved in different locations, right? I feel like making friends is like dating. You're like, this person, is this got good vibes? Do they fit in my life? Do they fit into my life? Girl, for real. That's funny. A true friend accepts who you are, but also helps you become who you should be. Very, very, very poignant there. I think the way society has changed, all sticks is how you trust someone to be a friend. Yes, because there's a lot of falseness that happens out there. Yeah, kids don't want to be alone necessarily, but adults are okay with being alone. And I think we kind of teach ourselves that. Like, it's okay. It's okay. And I think if you're an only child, you actually sometimes seek the aloneness, because when you have too much of it, then you're like, too much stimulation, then you're like, where's my alone time? Hi, RJ. Good morning. Everybody, I know I'm really early. Hey, Mr. Metalhead. But yeah. So like, I think it's harder to kind of make friends and to find friends, because like as a child, you go to play groups, you have summer camps, you go to kindergarten, you do all this stuff as a kid, and you go to a playground and there's kids there and you can make a friend. You know, it's that easy. As an adult, we got to do stuff like adulting. Like we got to go to work. And yes, those are work, those are coworkers. And you can say some of them are friends. But in my opinion, and I have learned throughout my many years, I know I can't even handle, like, the age thing is killing me. But whatever. It's what it is. And it's like you said, I'm just at a higher level in the game, Adriana. But coworkers are different. It's just a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. So, right, yeah. So, but as a child, you can make them easily. As an adult, you want to have, I think a friend is something that you do outside of work. Good morning, Tammy T. How are you? Friend is something that you do outside of work. It's not necessarily centered around work. Everything doesn't have to be work. Your conversations aren't about work. Your conversations are about personal and silly and random and all of that stuff. Hi, Julian. Good morning. And that's kind of how I view it. Like, do you guys break bread? Not talking about lunch. Not talking about your lunch while you're at work. Not talking about a work lunch. Friends are tricky when you have a significant other. They can be. That's a good one. Brian, I never even kind of was bringing that up, but it's very true. And you have to have a secure relationship to be able to have those kind of friends, because do you have friends of the opposite sex? And, some people are like, oh, no, you can't be friends with yes, you can. Yes, you can. A person is a person. Coworkers are acquaintances. Yeah, I've had to kind of like learn that as you go along throughout your careers. 46 here and only 18 likes. Smash that thumbs up, guys. Thank you. I'm like, you're 46. You're not 46, girl. I've met you. Coffee, we need it. For me, a friendship is earned. It's not given. I can count on one hand my closest friends. Most of my life are acquaintances. Brown eyes, girl. Yeah. It's kind of wild when you think about it. I think people are very quick to say friend, 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 friend. There's friends and there's friends. Okay, the higher up I went, the corporate chain, life for me is acquaintances. That is a very key thing. Very key. Because as you move up in, say, the corporate ladder, your friends become fewer and fewer. And the reason why is because if you're moving up the corporate ladder, that means you are actually managing other people, and it's very hard to manage a friend. And that has happened to me in my lifetime and throughout my career, that I've had to realize that the people that are, you don't want to say below you, but they're under you for management, they no longer can actually be in that friend space. It would be very difficult because you may have to discipline them. You may have to do something. You may have to watch something. They may do something that you may not know but you wish you would have known, and then you feel betrayed. And that's where it comes in the dishonesty thing and the drama, and that's what it is. I don't have trouble making friends, but I also don't have trouble dropping them. Yeah, as a company owner, most of relationships are acquaintances. It is, and it's a hard lesson to learn. I had to learn that. And that was way back when I was I was a marketing manager. I was the marketing director for a newspaper. I moved into that position, and then some of the salespeople, which I was one, in the marketing group, it was like stuff that I thought I would have been told because of a friend, or they would have come to me, they kept secret. And I understand why. I've had to fire people too. And it's a very difficult thing to do. I lost a friend I had a few years after I became manager. You do. And it's a hard thing to get over. And it's like a shock. And you're like, oh my God, right? Because you think everybody's a friend. And that just goes with like, I don't know, experience, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you learn as you get older and stuff like that about it. But then you do want to have friends, okay? And so then here's the question. How do you guys make friends? Not considering work, because that's the different thing. You have to be able to make friends not within a workspace, because within a workspace, that's the only thing that happens. The job is flexible. You could get fired. The company could, you are employed at will. The company could just all of a sudden just deem that I don't want to work with you anymore, and you're done. You know what I mean? Or you could decide, I don't want to work with you anymore, and I'm done. Either way, it's something that can absolutely change. You could move, anything could happen, and stuff like that. So how do you make friends outside of work? I don't know why that thing keeps going blah. It must be because it must be fluctuating because it's neon. I wonder if that's it. Got to go get your badge and earbuds from your mom. Do it. The bad thing at work is when the head of HR is friends with someone and then they get special. Darling. Period. Children makes friends because they are more trusting than adults. They are. They don't have the inhibitions. I felt terrible at first, but then an immunity comes into play. Very true, brown-eyed girl. Very, very true. You have to like build up that defense, and then it's the aha moment that you have, right? Why would I want to make friends? I already have cats. Oh, yeah, Rose. Pff, you crazy. Kitty cats. They're cute. But, they're not going to bring you a cup of coffee. Okay? Unless you got really some highly trained cats. Anyway. But yeah. So, like, when I have moved into different places, like we're originally from Michigan. I've told you guys the story. We've moved from Michigan to Ohio, back to Michigan, to Indiana, to Minnesota. Like, we've moved throughout the Midwest. Okay? And each time I've moved, I've had to make friends. And it was up until actually moving to New York, it was usually through a job or through Joe's job company, something like that. That's how I got connected with people. It was never me just putting myself out there, which is, I will tell you, a very difficult thing, just to put yourself out there. I would always meet friends. Like when we moved to Ohio, I met one of my good friends, Holly, and I met her because she worked with Joe, and we went to a company thing and she was there, and that's how her and I met. And then we became good friends. Now, keeping that friendship is much more difficult because you have to constantly communicate and check in and how is your life, and it kind of wanes. And I've always said people come in and out of your life. Like I always feel like everybody's a spinning circle, and then like this person's here and you're here, and sometimes you guys always meet, but then there's going to be a point where you guys kind of drift away. So we're all kind of like spinning around, but who's in your circle at that moment? It's like we're a bunch of things like in a galaxy, and we're all spinning around and stuff. And that's what I feel like I found through similar interests, through seminars, hobbies, and also through philanthropic opportunities. I've made some friends. Very true. That's one of the things I was going to talk about. My cat paws don't fit through my mug handles. But that's how I feel. Like friends will be closer to you when you need them for whatever reason at that time. And then some friends will move out of your life for whatever reason because you guys are experiencing different things and stuff like that. So, like I said, I've always met people through another means. Like when Josh started school, I would start volunteering at the school, and then I would meet people that were other parents. When we moved to Indiana, I met people through Josh's school and then also through Joe's work. It was never something that I just did, or it was an interest that I had. And I'll tell you, it is a completely different kind of thing. I think the quality of the friend is completely different, because then I feel like that friendship hinges on that person's job, that person's work, like Joe's company or the school. It hinges around that, which isn't bad, but I always felt like it wasn't me. And I'll tell you that those friendships that I made in those manners didn't, like, I want to say stick as hard. Like, you know what I mean? Good morning, Robert Kosinski. How are you? Congratulations to the Florida Panthers on winning the Stanley Cup. Did they win the Stanley Cup? Well, congratulations. I never really paid attention to the Stanley Cup after the whole Red Wings things, because we were, I don't know, the Red Wings had the Stanley Cup for so many years. It was crazy. Plus, I've already told you, I'm from Detroit and stuff. That was a big thing. Everybody walked around, Stanley Cup, hockey, hockey, hockey. The Devils played 2.5 months ago. You picked the right neighborhood for making friends, Ange. I did pick the right neighborhood. But here's the thing. So like I said, those friendships, I made some stuck. So a lot of them didn't. Some people, I just felt like I wanted to make a friend and have an outlet, but like, I just couldn't relate. Like, that was my biggest thing. I couldn't relate. Like, one of my friends, Holly, one of the first people I met outside of like school and work and stuff, but it was through Joe's work. Thank you, Diana Lee. She said, you're not like the other moms that she knows, because she was single. She had no children. She wasn't married. And I was married to Joe, and I had a young child, Josh. And she was like, you aren't like all the other moms. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she said, because you don't want to talk about your child. I'm like, why would I want to talk about him all the time? I see him all the time. I want to do something else. I've maybe 1 or 2 friends. The rest mostly felt for the cult. Sadly, so I banished them all together. Rob Law, that has happened to me too. You can make friends when standing on one of those long lines. Oh my God, yes you can, Ambrose. I swear to God. Good morning, Angelo. How are you? I did. I woke up early. And be making friends has been a byproduct, so to speak, if you understand, but it is what I am doing that takes precedent. I am glad if I do, but it's the event or opportunity that is the important to me. Yeah, it is. It can be that. The event or opportunity is there. So my thing is, like she said, I wasn't the same. So there's people that I was friends with that were very centered on their children, and that's great for them, but that wasn't me. So it, like, friendships like that just didn't stick. So when I moved here to New York, and I was preparing to move to New York, I decided I'm taking a different route, because I can't connect to people directly on a different level than Joe would if he's working with somebody or with whatever. I had to do it on my own. And when I was living in Minnesota, it was always through volunteers. That's where I kind of got through it. I started volunteering in groups. I started connecting with people. It was through work, different stuff like that. And I made some really good friendships in Minnesota. And I knew leaving Minnesota, coming to New York, was going to be extremely difficult. Angela Alfred says, these days I find that people are more interested in themselves than others. It's all me, me, me. Oh, that's a very big part. And so when I came here, I was starting from zero. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have anybody. The only person I had was Joe and Josh. It was literally starting from zero and stuff. And I was leaving everything else behind. So when I came here, before I even started, I started looking for groups. And I went on that app, Meetup. I don't know if you guys know Meetup. Is Meetup still around? And the funniest thing, one of my friends that she even pops in here from time to time, she was the first person I met, like literally made a friend with. And it was because I joined a book reading book club. No, if you guys know, I used to be a very avid reader and stuff. I'm so sorry I'm engrossed in the conversation. How are you? I'm glad you're engrossed. It's a random conversation. It's a strange conversation and stuff. And I met her because we were in this book club. And then the book club met. I got stuck in an elevator. It was conversation. You can't read is what from Ambrose. I can't read. Robert, I'm going to pop you. I had that same experience when I moved from Missouri to Colorado. Yeah, it's like you have to start from ground zero, and you're like, oh my God, I'm like the new kid in class, but there's no class. That's what it was like. I was like the new kid in class, but there's no class and there's no school. You ain't going anywhere. You just like that. So I met her. She lived very close to me, a few blocks away, which was really weird. It was really weird because the group was for, women with wacky schedules. And it was from all of New York City, the New York City area. The randomness and the powers that be, it was like she lives 3 blocks from me. She literally lives 3 blocks from me and stuff. And that's how I connected and stuff. We couldn't believe that we lived that close. And it's MD Sadavoy when she comes in here, whenever she does. Shout out to her. I gotta tell you, it was different. It was I'm so glad I met her and stuff. And no matter what, we're gonna have to get together and have a drink, girl, and talk about it, because you showed me pictures the other day and I'm like, oh my God, that's like a whole nother person. I don't know who that is. It was a picture of me. But yeah, we went to the book club together, and then the book club just kind of dissipated. It wasn't even a book club. It was just women getting together. And then we decided to create a book club. And then I didn't ever read the books. I love when people approach you asking to be your friend rather than friends by chance. I know. I wish there was a manual on how to do life. There really needs to be, But that's why I want to have this conversation is how do you guys do it? I'm going to tell you, like, some of the things I found that really, really worked is start doing the groups. That it's something that you enjoy. I don't care if I even tried joining a crochet group because actually I do enjoy crochet and I like crafts like that. But, I couldn't connect and I couldn't make those things. Didn't work. The book club actually worked because it was just a wacky schedule. One time we did a tour someplace. One time we read a book. One time we went to lunch and stuff. And that was good because it was people from all different varieties. I'm always interested in people who aren't necessarily like me because I find that interesting. I don't want everybody to be like me. That would be really goddamn boring, All my friends are heathens, take it slow, 21 Pilots, yes. In the past couple of years, I've made very close friends here online, and you're right, we live in a new age where you have to learn to make new friends online as opposed to in person, but it works. And I do, you're right. And that's another thing, I did that. I went online to find the group. I don't know about you, Andrew, or anyone else, but when you are so-called on all day long, meeting people and talking to people, you value your quiet. You do value your quiet time, and I do. But, I like to be out there too and do something different, and I don't always, God, shocker, want to be doing stuff with Joe. You want to have your own, you want to have your own, you have your own persona, your own person and stuff. So yeah, I join groups, do activities and classes that you like and stuff. I think that's cool. Try to do something alone in a group setting or take a tour or something alone. Because if we're with somebody, your significant other, something like that, how are you going to meet other people? Because you're going to naturally gravitate to what's comfortable. You know what I mean? If you're there with your husband or your boyfriend or whatever, and that's great if you want to do it together. But sometimes you got to put yourself out there and do a group activity or a thing by yourself, because that opens you up to being like not so secluded. Do you know what I mean? Like so comfortable in your current whatever relationship you're with. There are too many naughty books I haven't read. Oh, good morning, Kimberly Gress. Hi, Lennon Dominguez. You've gone through many meetups through that organization. That's very cool. Yeah, do that stuff. Online social media, absolutely. Mama Tara, I adore my husband, but I don't want to spend 24/7. I need my own time. For real. I know everybody loves Joe. Everybody thinks Joe is hilarious. Joe is a very funny man, and he's very kind, and but he is a lot. And we all know he's a delicate flower. And there were some days I'm like, can you please go to work? Like this past weekend, he was off Thursday and Friday, so I had him Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 24/7. I had a video to film. Okay, I still have to film the rest of it. But because I had him around 24/7 for 4 damn days, I was like, I can't do it. Because you know why? He's like in my face. I'm like, get the hell out of my face, will you? Joe is his own friends group. He really is. I swear to God. I swear to God. But I will tell you, meeting people online, it's actually, and I did a podcast about online social media. Is it good? Is it bad? I actually think doing stuff online can be good. I mean, of course, protect yourself, all of that, blah, blah, blah. We're not getting into that. That's too much. It's a whole nother thing. But what I'm talking about is getting yourself out there and engaging, talk, share ideas. If you don't like somebody and you find out that they say something really offensive or whatever, or it's stressful, block them. That's all you got to do is hit the little block button. Oh, I don't want to see you anymore. I'm done. Unfriend. Things like that. It's much easier to hit that than it is to be like telling somebody to their face, I don't want to be friends with you. Unfriend. That's it. You know, it's kind of like a ghosting. And I know some people feel like that's not right, but that's a way to protect yourself. But you can meet people. I'm not getting catfished again. Okay, well, if somebody's asking me for money, they ain't a friend. Okay. Brown Eyes Girl, I've gone to a number of different meetup groups. That's how I started making friends here. That's how I met my first friend here in New York. And then now I have like a number of people that I know here on the Upper West Side for just random reasons, because I met that person. She introduced me to this person. I met another person, part of the group. We all would go to dinner and stuff. And some people you liked and they moved away and then they came back and it's just weird. But yeah, I've done it. Have I gone on there lately? No, I should probably go check it out and see if there's anything interesting. But I think it's a great way to meet people is on Meetup. And the way you do it is you go in there, you put in your town, start picking what your interests are, and then they'll start suggesting it to you. It's really a very cool app. And some groups, if they get really large, they charge for the group. It depends on what the event is, but you can like wander around in there. You got your earbuds. I love that. Thank you. I'm so glad you got it. But join that. Join convo groups, join message boards, stuff like that. It's a way you guys can connect without having to be so on. Like, you don't have to go get all dressed up and anything like that. You can actually be behind a thing and talk and stuff. And I do find that meeting people online sometimes and through YouTube. Guys, YouTube. I met a lot of people through YouTube and stuff. Have I made friends from Facebook groups? Some of them I have, yes. Because you start talking and different things like that. I've made it mostly through social media, through the meetup groups is where it started, and then it kind of blossoms. And once you start doing that, what's crazy, because like I said, as an adult, it's harder to meet friends. Then you start going, okay, it's all right. I can talk. It's not going to be terrible. Like before, I can tell you guys before this, I would be, I don't want to say shy, like way before I was way shy, but now it's like, I don't care. I swear. Never thought I'd make friends through YouTube. And I think that's one thing that I find that YouTube and social media has really brought us, is that we're able to have a more diversified group of friends. And I'm going to tell you this, diversity is only going to go as far as you let it go. Okay? If you're only going to be talking to people that have the same ideas, the same things, and everything else is you, well, then you're going to have a copycat of you. Me, I'm always like trying to figure out, okay, this is different. This is interesting, but that is me. I have a very inquisitive mind, and I always want to know more. And if I don't know something about something, trust me, I will be looking it up and going down, as I call, the rabbit hole. No, that's not something I'd be interested in. What were you asking? I also think being a donor to certain important orgs have been important to me and help. Yeah, I mean, organizations and stuff are great areas to do it. you know, great areas. It's boring to be the same. I love listening to different stuff, and I love everything. I could listen to classical music and pop music and all the different kinds of music. I love all that stuff. I mean, come on. Knowing friends I met, so MD Sadavoy, I met her, and through her, I met Sarah, and through Sarah, I met Carlton. So through my friends, MD Sadavoy, Marion, met her through a book club and group that we went through on Meetup. And through her, I met Sarah. And Sarah was from Michigan, which I'm from Michigan. And then we connected more. And then she works with nonprofit organizations, which is amazing. And through her, because she lives in the same building as Carlton, who is a musician and an entertainer and travels the world. Don't you think that's crazy? Like, that's how, and they're all so different. And to me, that's amazing. Robert, I met you all in prison. I can't with you. Robert, you're so crazy. I love hearing about someone's different customs, and I love hearing about their different traditions. That to me is great. Now, the biggest question I have, here's another question. How do you keep the friends? You know what I mean? And the biggest thing I find is you have to communicate. Got to be honest. And you got to kind of touch base all the time. Because I don't even, like, I'm going to explain this to you. Like, even with family, like, you have family that you may be close, it could be sisters. Like, there was a time in my life when I had not talked to my sisters for years, some of my sisters for years, because they moved away and stuff like that. You would never know that now. You would never know that. And I think it's because we're all going through different things at different times. We're living our lives. Like, there was a time when my sister, Alaskan Care, her and I had not connected for years. For years. That's crazy. And then how do you reconnect? If you want to reconnect, because there's some people, maybe it might even be siblings that you don't want to reconnect with. You've decided that relationship has run its course. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know, that's okay. If that person brings more drama and more strife in your life, that's okay. I have friends I go to the opera with, and I have friends that go to jazz with, and friends that go to museums with. Exactly. Excuse me. Oh, I need some more drink. But, I mean, there were years that I hadn't talked or spoken with her. And distance is healthy. It doesn't have to be clingy, but I'm saying, like, because we lived so far apart. She was in Alaska. I was wherever I was at that moment. And stuff. And we just never connected. And I don't know if it's because, like, we had issues at some point when we were younger and things like that, you know, bullshit. Basic, let's just call it. I look like I'm doing an SNL skit. Yeah, no. I mean, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's what it is. And stuff. But how do you reconnect? And I gotta tell you, the biggest thing is somebody has to reach out. Somebody has to do it. In college, there were 10 of us girls in the sorority that were practically inseparable. We're all still very close and live within 15 minutes each other. To say that I am grateful is an understatement. Well, that's really cool, Mama Terry. I'm glad you guys are still connected. But yeah, somebody has to make the move. And if you're thinking about it, why aren't you making the move? Do you ever ask yourself that? And I will tell you, there's times that you need space. There's times that you do, and there's times that you kind of have to almost end the relationship without even saying anything, or the other person does it to you and stuff. And that's happened to me. It happened to me recently within the past couple of years and stuff like that. People that I thought were friends really turned out not to be friends and stuff. And it's kind of like, lesson learned and stuff. And even if you say, well, I'll reach out to them again, I shouldn't judge people. I'm not judging people. Want to join in with Ange? Oh my God, sometimes I connect with friends more than family. Brian Davis, that is very normal. Yes, just because they're family doesn't mean they're going to be your friend. And there's times you outgrow the relationship. Exactly. But I mean, yeah, you have to stay in contact and communication. There's people that I could pick up the phone and we would talk like we haven't talked in 6 months and it feels like we talked yesterday. You know, that just depends on how deep that relationship is or how connected you are. You know what I mean? It's just what it is and stuff. So like, and in fact, do you reconnect with some people? So I have tried like recently, not necessarily to reconnect, but I wanted to reach out And because of something that had happened, and everybody knows, whatever, somebody had passed, and I reached out and just said, some words of, I don't know, condolences, whatever, stuff like that. Here's the thing you have to do when you do something like that. And I understand why people are like, I don't ever want to reconnect. It's so hard to reconnect and whatever, is you need to lower your expectations. Because when I told Joe I was doing this, he goes, why are you doing that? And I said, I know. He goes, well, they weren't really good friends to us after. I go, I know, and things that were done or whatever and stuff. And I said, but this is something that's beyond that. And I said, I'm just gonna, because I feel like I should. And if you feel something in your bones, or in your soul that you want to do, then you should be able to just do it. There's no reason why not to, and stuff. And so I reached out, some words of condolences, because I understood that person was also in their life and stuff. I dropped those same people. I know who they are. I don't even, you do. But let me tell you, he goes, and here's Joe. So I wrote this message to them, and I reach out, who you are, not who they are. Exactly. So I reached out just to say, I understand, and I feel for you, and things like that. And Joe was all over me. And he's like, what did they say? Did they say anything? And I said, no. He goes, well, doesn't it upset you? I said, no. That's on them. And I don't have expectations of them too. If they choose to, that's on them. And so that's where I'm saying, you guys, when you reach out and try to reconnect with people from, like, either it could be your sister or somebody you haven't spoken to in a year, 2 years, whatever it is, there might have been a tumultuous thing that had happened, but you kind of had space, and it's you feel okay, you have re-looked at it, and it's like whatever and stuff. But don't have those expectations. Don't put those expectations on someone else that you have. Don't do that. Lower them. You did what you wanted and stuff, and however you feel about it is how you feel about it. Don't, that's what it is. That's what I said. And I told him, I said, no. I have strong boundaries. No is a complete sentence. It totally is. It totally is. But I will immediately walk away from a toxic interaction. I do too. I will not entertain it. I will not entertain toxicity. Does everybody talk shit about stuff? Yes. Let's just be honest. Yes. Do you do it in fun and jest? But yes, and then you go back and go, honestly, it's none of my business. You can say that to yourself and a friend. I'm glad I'm not alone in feeling distance. Yeah, absolutely. And it can happen with family and friends. I never expect anything from anyone. I don't expect them to react like me, because we are all different. And that is the hardest thing to learn, because you can sit there and dissect and go, why? What difference does it make? Is it really affecting your life right now? No. I don't know. It's just a thought. So like I said, and the other way I think always to still be a friend is to be an active listener, because sometimes we don't listen. We're too busy. How many times have you guys sat in a conversation and gone, what the hell were they saying? Like my sisters, I've done this to my sisters. My sisters have done it to me. I've done it it just happens. Like you're so into something else, and the person's talking and they're telling you the story, and you literally are like, and then you go, oh shit, quack. What were they talking about? Be an active listener, people. Right, Robert? Wait, did you say something? People listen to reply, not to listen. Brown eyes girl, yes. Listen. I am doing, Esfield, so good to see you. It's okay. It's good to see you. Yeah. I'm telling you, it is true. Be an active listener. Don't be waiting to tell your stuff. Sometimes people are just sitting there and they can't wait to get their to spew their whatever all over you. Like they already got their story in their head, but they ain't listening to you. It's so bad. And then I'll be like, God, I am so sorry. I actually catch myself now and I'll say, I am so sorry. My brain just went looking at a bird. I'm so sorry. And then they laugh at me or they get mad. And I'm like, it's who I am. Sometimes I have ADD. Dave, Jeffrey, and I met the type. Yeah, I can't stand when people are on their phones at dinner and lunch and I'm on the phone. I will tell Joe that specifically. Joe's done that to me. I know, I don't do it intentionally. I don't do it intentionally. Joe does that sometimes. He'll be sitting here. I know my phone's here, but he'll be like this. And I'm like, are you listening to me? And he'll be like, I am. And I'm like, really? Well, let me know. Because I don't think you are. I get very, very agitated. Everybody does. But yeah, you know, and like if you're going to reconnect with somebody, be genuine. Don't be coming in with an agenda. I've had that happen to me. They try to make a conversation about something and they're not genuine. There's a motive. There's an ulterior motive. And that's the key. Don't come in here. Don't be coming here after I try to reconnect with you with an ulterior motive and stuff. No, ain't gonna happen. I see you. But I will tell you, I am not afraid to make the first move anymore. I'll be right out there. If I hadn't made the first move to reach out to Nista, we would never be friends. I mean, I saw her, I liked her vibe, and I thought, you know what? I want to meet that girl. Where are you going to be? She was like, you just look like a crazy lady. But now we're really good friends and stuff. FAFO, good morning. Grandma Joanne, so good to see you and stuff. Today we were talking about friends. It was actually a very interesting conversation, I think. What do you guys think? Guys, leave me your comments. I think this is just something that people don't talk about as an adult. How do you make friends? How do you keep friends? Do you reconnect to old friends that might have done you wrong, or you guys it didn't work? Like it changed for whatever reason. And do you try? Oh, look at Adriana's like, Fafo, look at this sticker. I know, isn't that fun? I forgot that I had that made. I don't even know when I made that. I don't know if I made that for the last thing or what. I think it must, no, I don't know. But I made that one a while ago and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm such a ding dong. Cooking and listening. What are you cooking, M. Zabrano? What are you I haven't made anything. You know what I had today was coffee. And I think I had one slice of sausage, of Sapressetta. It was Italian sausage. That's what it was. Brown Eyes Girl, I have made friends who do not confront one another appropriately when there is an issue and let issues repeat. Oh my God. Yes. If you're a hot and cold friend, keep walking. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Right? Right? Yeah. When people can't confront each other and actually say the words, steak, rice, lentils, and salad. Oh my God, that sounds so good. Could you make me a steak and I'll have the salad? You can keep the rice and lentils. Even though I'd like to eat them, I can't. So what I do is keep a distance. I know. And that's it's a good and a bad thing. It protects you, but then you don't want to be so far that, you know what I mean? Like you want to be out there to make more friends and stuff. And I'm not up here to have who's got the most friends. Trust me, that's not me. I'm not out there to be like, oh, you know, I don't compare people. I try not to compare people. I mean, as you get older, you learn and things. But yeah, if I had not tried, there are people that I have reconnected with that I'm so glad I did reach out, because it's a different, it's like I feel good about that relationship. Like I enjoyed the relationship, but for whatever had happened, we had to let that, you know, settle or whatever, and then you reach out again. But you better be sincere and you better be authentic and don't be bringing baggage and lies and whatever else with it, because that's not a friend and stuff. It's like high school, Ange. It's so unhealthy. I know. Some of my fellow high school graduates still are having lunch once a month. That is wild. Wow. Grandma Joanne. Dang, that's really cool. I know, Brown Eyes Girl. I feel you on that. I know. And it's hard to put yourself back out there. But just remember, you've learned all those lessons. Don't repeat them. God gives us the power and authority to avoid the spirit killers in our lives, no matter who are there. Powerful words, Mama Terry. Powerful. Absolutely. Call them spirit killers. Absolutely. And I won't let that happen. Esfield, yeah. And chances are you're going to have to take ownership for some... 1,000,000%. Take ownership. Don't act like you didn't do shit. Stop it. Bonded in the Breakfast Club. Yeah. Right? FAFO. Is that not a good one? Spirit killers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Nista would say soul snatchers. That's what Nista would say. Then they think I am a snob. No, it's not that I'm a snob. I don't want toxicity. That's exactly right. You don't want the toxicity. Anyway, guys, I think this was a good conversation. Kind of deep, not as light and whatever, but it's kind of deep. And I think it's a cool conversation to have. And think about it. You know, how do you guys make friends? Are you guys going to join a group? Are you going to do something like that? Keep on YouTube Talk. That's why I always tell people, I mean, yes, we have the Yo Club and Discord, and I've known people, I see people, oh, look at look at Wicked Penny, good morning, Vietnam. You're such a dork, I can't with you. You're so damn silly, honey. Guys, let's congratulate Wicked Penny. One of her sons has gotten married this past weekend. Cheers to Sam and Anna. Gosh, you made it through the wedding, girl. You made it through. I needed this today. Thank you. You are so welcome, Pam. Great adult conversations that are very beneficial. Thank you. You are welcome, Mama Terry. Yes, Penny, she made it through the wedding. She's still in one piece. I don't know how weak she is anymore. She's probably like, it happened. Thank you. I can now continue to spend my money on myself. 1000%, Penny. Go back to spending the money on you and the hubs. Oh my God, it's craziness. Yeah, I hope you guys like the conversation. I was just thinking about it this morning and stuff like that, you know? And I gotta tell you, good people in your life are hard to have and harder to keep, and you have to work at it. You gotta be a friend to have a friend. So anyway, guys, enjoy your Tuesday. It's gonna stay a little cooler here in the city. But guys, y'all stay cool. Be cool. Still be a friend. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.